Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as a Florida Stone Man, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how your spiritual gifts open, how long it takes for them to open, and what you guys can expect, because, I'm really disappointed with the spiritual community because there's so much misinformation being sold on spiritual gifts, and it's really disappointing and disgusting. The more you find out from just so many different sources, it's really disappointing. People will tell you, and sometimes this is actually how it works, some spiritual gifts, if it's by the will of God, will open all at once. But the best gifts that actually stay are the ones that take time. This is what this video is all about, and I'm going to tell you how you can check progress on certain spiritual gifts opening. I'm going to tell you right now, if you've had a spiritual gift open overnight, it will leave overnight. A gift that automatically comes to you immediately is a gift that can leave you as quickly as it came. This gift might have come through an angelic guide, a spirit guide, etc. But when you have a spiritual gift come to you immediately, just because it came that quickly doesn't mean it'll stay as long as you want it to stay. The best progress you can ever make with spiritual gifts is when a gift takes a very long time to get. It could be, and a lot of gifts will take it could take months to years. And it's a really good thing, because as long as you know you have worked for the gift, you have exercised that gift, it's going to stay, because it's like a muscle. It's like when you go to the gym for the first time ever, and a lot of these gifts work like a spiritual gym. When you go to the gym for the first time ever, if you are expecting to be Arnold Schwarzenegger, you gotta reality check yourself. Because I'm helping a bunch of people right now open their spiritual gifts, and one thing that I see, and it's for some of the newer people who have come to me recently from TikTok, because I have opened my DMs on TikTok to responding to messages. People are like, I work with Amethyst, gifts not open yet, I give up on spirituality. Okay, you should, because I'm not saying you should give up on spirituality. You should give up on whatever that is you're doing, because if what you're doing is rushing the process, you don't deserve the gift if you think it comes to you as quickly as you want it to. You don't snap your fingers at the creator and say, I want my gift now. That's not how it works. Some of you wait all year until Christmas to get your gifts, and you want the gifts to open right away. From my experience in opening actual gifts, because some people are just born with gifts because they had them in past lives. Some people, and people who have had gifts since they were young, people who have had gifts, they can't always train other people in that gift because they have always had that gift. Same thing with some of the physical gifts. Now, certain people are just energetically blessed when it comes to making energy balls, when it comes to creating energy shields, energy walls, etc. Because that gift resonates with the root chakra that has to do with your connections with the earth. Because you're literally pulling up energies from the ley lines of Mother Nature to create these energies. Now, and some of you are, and yes, I'm making a car video because it's raining, and if it's raining, I'll just pause the video and make the video on the other side of the beach where it's not raining. But there are some gifts that will come very quickly, and then people get very disappointed because they leave as quickly as they came. It's because you really do have to check your astrology as well. Because in the category of spiritual gifts, and I'm actually teaching more about spiritual gifts more now than I ever have, just because there's so much misinformation on gifts online, you do have to be careful with certain elements, certain factors. If you have people around you, and this is the fastest way to not have a gift, is to believe it doesn't exist. You will discredit yourself and you won't have that gift. Some people believe you can't talk to angels. If you don't believe you can talk to angels, which they're actually easier to talk to than spirits, and a lot of that's a thing. People do not believe you can talk to angels because, they're such on a high energy level. They're so high on energy that no one can communicate with them. That's why people don't communicate with them, because you don't believe it. The thing with, you don't see God, but you know he's there. With guardian angels, they're literally guardian angels, archangels, and all the other forms of angels, which it's mainly the archangels and the guardian angels that are the ones that you're talking to. If you don't believe that you can connect with them, you better believe you're not going to connect with them, because you don't believe it. It's belief. It took me about 6 months when I was first opening my clairaudience to actually believe, because I believed that you had to have been born with the gift. I believed that the gift, you either have it or you don't. That's not true. You either have a muscle or you don't. Or you exercise the muscle at the gym. That's what meditation's all about. meditation, it really does exercise certain gifts. Now, the next part of why, and this video is going to be titled, Spiritual Gifts Take Time. The one thing too, you better be very specific with which gift you're trying to open. And if I'm a little more fiery, some of my, there are certain things in my astrological chart which I have realized make me very fiery. So if you've seen past videos, like, okay, so calm in this video versus, oh, I'm in my energy right now. So the one thing with this, if you're not consistent with meditation, if you're not consistent in working on yourself, then you're not going to open certain gifts. Now, there's several different kind of gifts, and you have to be very specific in what you want to open. You have to be very specific. I highly suggest, and like I said, take my videos with a grain of salt and a grain of pepper. Don't believe everything or 100% of what any spiritualist tells you. If a spiritualist tells you one thing, go with your intuition, because every spiritualist will say something 100% different. A lot of these spiritualists do have major agendas too. It may not be obvious, but they do. A lot of spiritualists do, especially the deeper you get into the spiritual community and you see these different spiritual figures. There's certain YouTubers with tens of millions of followers that are just teaching misinformation. I've seen one of them say you can't wear more than 3 crystals at the same time. I've seen another one say, the crystal's only blessed if I touch it. Like, is it? Is it? You can't use the crystal unless that person touches it? I guess everyone in the entire world has to go through that person to get their crystals working, huh? Yeah. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Now with gifts, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're impatient with your spiritual gifts, you will turn your guides off and you can actually swap out different guides. There are some angels, which I have flat out seen, will get sick of you. If you push them, if you press them, if you're not nice to them, they will be swapped out. Not necessarily your guardian angel, just the borderline angels. Not the archangels, just other angels who work with you to help you. In different visions, in different astral journeys, I have seen. I remember, because I have a certain group of angels that I talk to and help me with questions. The other group of angels are like, okay, let them answer it, please. They make jokes, but to scare away an angel, you have to do bad. But you can make an angel not talk and be completely quiet, and then other things will answer just by being asking questions with the wrong intention, or just not being good intention when you're asking questions. Same thing. But the main thing is patience. Sometimes angels can't help you. Sometimes they can't help you because you haven't done enough for yourself. You're not working on yourself enough. You're not improving your self-worth. You're not improving your self-value. And you better believe that when you work with angels, because I teach working with angels, and people want to be full-fledged readers overnight. Okay, I got my guardian angel's name now. And I help people learn their angels' names. People are like, how do I read other people? How can I read my entire family? You don't. There is something with guardian angels and angels in general. These are beings of light. They're not gossipers. You talk to a lower level demon, a dark entity, it's going to tell you absolutely everything on top of everything on top of everything and add truth to it. The thing with angels is they will tell you the general truth, but they won't get nosy. They won't go digging. It's because in order to dig, there has to be spiritual walls that have to be broken to be able to read someone. This is why when you try to read someone without their consent, there's a whole bunch of resistance, there's a whole bunch of things wrong, etc. People who do readings on TikTok, etc., and they think it's cute and cool, they'll get flat out energetically drained. Flat out drained. They'll be hot, they'll be sweating, they'll be very itchy, they just won't feel good. And for how many spiritual readers have come to me from TikTok saying, please, Stone Man, I don't know what to do. The black tourmaline's not helping me right now. I'm like, because you overwhelmed it. You overwhelmed your black tourmaline while you're reading every one of these random people on TikTok. You don't know who you're reading. These people could be serial killers. These people could be the nicest people in the world, etc. And you think it's your job to be reading them because it's fun. You're pulling cards. There's cards all over the place. Everyone's getting hot. Everyone's feeling tired because you're not supposed to be reading those people. You have dark entities are the first ones to line up to want to talk. They will always pretend to be other people. They will always pretend to be someone's grandma. They'll always pretend to be something. Most of the time, because it takes a spirit a lot of energy to do a reading. That's why you go to a professional reader and you get professional readings done. You don't go on TikTok live and you, for a, what's it called? $1, you get your entire, really? Really? These people can't even see your face. They can't connect with you. You're holding your phone up and you just met them because you swiped through their live, and now you're on some TikTok reader's live and you're trying to figure stuff out. The only thing you're going to figure out is a lesson. Now, the next part of this video, just be patient. If you do not have patience regarding spiritual gifts, and like I said, astrology heavily plays into a role because as planets move into certain phases, and crystals, they heavily play into a role as well. They heavily play into a role. You can wear a crystal for 6 months before it actually starts doing what it's meant to do, because it uses time in that 6 months of clearing up other gunk that you have created for yourself in this life, in a past life, etc. And yeah, there's some people watching because I do this video. They're just like, well, you're about to get some gems, dropping some gems here now. I wish I could turn the camera around. And by the way, you guys are seeing me switch my whole arm out because as time goes on, I discover new information about crystals, and I unlock new information that helps me help you guys, and it helps me identify exactly what crystals are doing. The biggest thing with spiritual gifts is patience, because I don't know why this time of year, maybe because we're getting closer to Halloween, I don't know, but there's been an influx of messages of people saying, I want my spiritual gifts open, and they'll go reader to reader to reader to reader to psychic to psychic to psychic to psychic to TikTok live to TikTok live to TikTok live, and I just see a whole bunch of just non-helpful stuff go around. If something doesn't work for me, I don't use it. I flat out don't use it. People will watch an episode of American Horror Story and then think that they can go astral traveling. We live in a very interesting world. But the main message of this video is, and I'm going to use a palm tree as an example. Palm trees go up relatively quickly in comparison to years, but when a storm comes, those palm trees are knocked over. Now, when an oak tree goes up, it takes 300 years sometimes for some oak trees. I'm pretty sure it's around 300 years. There's some big oaks. I'm talking about the big oaks that hold bare fruit. They're reproducing, they're making new trees, etc. Those trees, when a hurricane comes around, a branch might snap off. The tree might just take some blows. Sometimes it's even struck by lightning and it'll still live. Those are the trees that last. Do you want your spiritual gifts to pop up overnight and just disappear? Or do you want them to last? Because I have everyone asking me about spiritual, and certain people, I will have them do certain things based on just what my angels tell me. Certain people are more going to resonate towards elements of fire. So when someone's around a candle more often, they're going to be able to make contact with their angels. Because some people do have angels who are more of a spicy element or more of a fiery element. Some people have more like watery angels, so you can base it in elements. So if your guardian angels more based towards water, you're gonna have a lot more luck near a river, a stream, an ocean. And I'm talking about angels, not spirits, because there's a lot not known about angels. Actually, I've looked at what humans uncover when they start studying angels, and it's kind of funny because the first thing humans try to do is they'll try to abuse the power of angels, and then they actually get the karma by they think they're connecting with the angel still because they thought the angel didn't know his intentions, and they got a demon swapped out. I'm going to tell you right now, none of you who have bad intentions are going to be working with angels. You won't even be able to try. Your angels will stay quiet and you'll connect to everything else. To work with an angel, you must have a pure soul. You will not talk to angels if you have a dark soul, if there's anything dark about you. Like, I've seen it countless times, and like people will come to me like, what does my angel say? And I'm like, what's some of the things you're doing? Nothing. Your angel's like holding on for dear life, trying to help you, trying to stay at your back when everything happens. Because these angels will stay by your side no matter how bad you do, just because they see a potential for you to do good. They will not help you fully until you help yourself get back onto the path of good. And you have to ask yourself, what's your intention with opening some of these gifts? Would you like to become more at one with the Creator? Would you like more spiritual defenses? Because there are spiritual gifts and defenses. You better believe it. And I teach people how to defend their gifts as well. There's spiritual gifts relating to Mother Nature. There's spiritual gifts relating to connecting with objects. There's spiritual gifts connecting, like I said, the elements: water, fire, earth, which is nature, air, things in between. Eventually, I might teach spiritual gifts in a way that it's not on YouTube, or I could teach more people about them, because some of the really cool spiritual gifts that people don't think exist are actually out there. You can look at some of the documents that the big man has released. Not God, but what do they call him? Uncle Sam? I don't know what they call it. The higher ups, they've released documents stating certain gifts are open in certain people and how to unlock the certain gifts, because if they're releasing them now, it's because they found so much more. And I don't teach that much more, because I'm not really allowed to on YouTube. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comment section. I have some viewers here. It's a rainy day on the beach and there's people watching me make the video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. I have a very fiery approach to spirituality, but if you go into spirituality soft, you're gonna get ran over. If you go into spirituality and you're squishy, you'll learn to not be squishy. I started off squishy. I started off thinking everything was light and good until I realized I had to defend myself. Sometimes it takes everything being taken away for you to actually learn how to defend yourself spiritually. And then you're able to defend others. What's a castle, or what's a kingdom with no walls? Make walls, establish energetic boundaries, be patient, connect to God, do nothing but good, or it will come back to you. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!